Good afternoon and welcome to Purdue University and the CERIAS Security Seminar. Our speaker today is Dr. Kenji Takahashi from NTT Information Sharing Platform Laboratories in Tokyo. His research interests include identity management for next generation networks, and his topic today is trends in identity management. Dr. Takahashi.
Hi, good afternoon. Konnichiwa. My name is Kenji Takahashi. I'm going to talk about trends in identity management. So let me introduce who we are. Let me introduce my identity or our identity. So NTT, I belong to NTT's R&D center. And under NTT, there are several companies, including Docomo and other telecommunication companies. And at the R&D center, we are working for these operating companies. So as you see, NTT is a huge company, but current dollar rate must be, revenues must be much bigger, I guess. So let me go through agenda. I'm going to talk about identity management and mostly talking about standardization. Right now, there are many competing standardization for the identity management. So I'm going to talk about the trends and most importantly, how we can work together towards the harmonization of those standards. And also, I'd like to discuss some use cases and lesson learned from the use cases and conclusion on the future direction. So here is identity management, as you know, maybe increasingly important because of those four perspectives: tougher compliance requirements, greater security issues, and changing business climates, and emerging services-oriented society. So many things are outsourced, and our society and industry are becoming more service-oriented. And for instance, for compliance, as you know, SOX Act, and also in Europe, EU Article 27. Also in Japan, there is a Personal Information Protection Act has been effect since last year. Also, FFIEC required stronger authentication for online banking. And as you know, from the security program, identity theft, for instance, 45 billion damage. Sounds like a recent Wall Street meltdown. So, and also from business, there's a lot of pressure from business sides, M&A, and also globalization, flattening world. Those business pressure requires more efficient identity management. So market forecast says, as you see here, 26 billion in 2006, and in 2014 it would be 12.3 billion. But I don't know that. Considering current economic situation, maybe the number may be smaller, but and also service orientation, so personalization, Web 2.0, and cloud computing or SaaS or other outsourcing trends are demanding more efficient and effective identity management. And this is my view of computing industry. Actually, I've been working in IT industry for more than 20 years in Silicon Valley and in Tokyo. Now people call it attention economy. People are paying for services by paying attention. So it's kind of passive and implicit and enterprise centric. But in future, I hope intention economy will come, and in the intention economy, identity will play a major role, and it should be a proactive, explicit, and user-centric. Looking back, in 80s, client OS is a competitive edge and major battleground for the IT industry. And in 90s, many people forget about Netscape, but at that time, Netscape and Microsoft had fought each other, and Microsoft won. But right now, in these decades, Google is a champion, and they got lots of attention and leading market industry. Advertise industry. And then in next decades, I hope identity will play a major role, and maybe key player would be Facebook and so on. And observing current situation for instance, in consumer market, SNS, blog, photo sharing, Second Life, Twitter, those kind of services, identity is a key component. And also enterprise, e-government, industry sector, audit trail, strong authentication, single sign-on, e-government services, and national security, anti-terrorism major. Those are very much related to identity management. And what is identity management? So, I just consulted several online dictionaries. It says just set of behavioral personal characteristics by which an individual is recognizable as a member of group. This is very related to identity management. Also, integrity is also important. The sense of self, providing sameness and continuity in personality over time. In that sense, this portion, behavioral or personal characteristics, I'm gonna call it identity data. It includes name, domicile, age, gender, social security number, passport number, or those kind of things. Also, maybe in cyber world, it could be a Google ID, email address, and so on. Also, relationships or reputation, those kind of social aspects is a very important identity data. And what is identity data management? This is my try. Is let an individual control and use its identity in a secure and privacy protected manner by managing the integrity of identity through its life cycle. And then this leads a question that what is privacy? Then maybe I'm gonna little bit talk about privacy. Actually, everybody talks about privacy, so I'm stupid enough to try here. So as actually privacy was dead. Most of you guys were born actually in 1969. Jerry Rosenberg said in discussion of census, he said privacy is dead, and privacy has died several times actually. Scott McNally said privacy is dead in regards of with regards of maybe web usage, and also actual network surveillance is available everywhere. Is used everywhere. For instance, London is very famous or notorious for the surveillance. And ironically, I read a book called Understanding Privacy, but it's on the first page it says privacy is nobody can